Well, some of you may be online searching for a new job right now, but if that posting that popped up in your feed just seems too good to be true, well, it actually might be. According to the Better Business Bureau, Americans lose $2 billion a year because of job scams. And that's why we have Marcy Thornhill here with us today so we can talk all about this. Marcy, thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely, thank you.
First question first, what should people do before they apply for a new job?
Well, you want to make sure that you do your research. As you're on the job search, you want to understand the companies you're applying for, look at what the requirements are, and have a really good understanding of who they are to make sure it's a good fit for you.
Okay, and just recently, a lot of people working from home since the pandemic, right? Are we seeing an uptick in scams?
We are absolutely. It was also reported in around 2022 there was over 94,000 job scams that occurred, especially for those individuals that are working from home. So they're targeting those tech jobs and work from home customer service, call center, things like that.
Gotta be careful.
Yes.
Now, what about when an employer emails you about a job? What do you look for in that email to know if it's legit or not?
So a few things you want to look for. First is the email address, where it's coming from, to make sure it's legitimate. Oftentimes they'll change one character in the email address to mimic another company. So you want to go back and research that company, see what their email addresses look like. Also, the title, spelling errors, misused punctuation, things like that. Those are typically red flags that this is not a legitimate job offer.
Interesting. And what about if you're only communicating through email with an employer? Is that a red flag?
That is a huge red flag. Most real recruiters will not just text an interview, right? You're finding an uptick in text interviews. Real recruiters don't tend to do that. So you want to ask for a video interview or an in-person interview. You want to ask those questions of the recruiters to make sure it's a legitimate person, not even a bot, for example. And so you want to make sure you're not just texting, but you're having real conversations with real people and listen. Throw out such keywords as, I don't want to be scammed. I want to make sure this is legitimate. Typically, though, that language will cause a hacker or an imposter to pause and stop.
Kind of calling them out a little bit.
Call them out
That's
just a little bit. Absolutely, yes.
And when you're speaking with employers, what should you be leery about sharing? Because you don't want to overshare too much, I'm sure.
So at the beginning of the process, any recruiter that starts to ask for your ID, a copy of your passport, maybe they'll even ask you to purchase a cell phone or a device. That's another red flag that you should pause, because they should not ask for that information on the front end. So they're either trying to steal your identity or maybe you steal your money.
Gotta be careful.
Have to be very careful.
What if an employer offers you a job without a formal interview? Big red flag, right?
Big red flag, because they want to make sure that you're a good fit for the company. That's the purpose of the interview process. But if they're going through looking at your profile, they're saying that they have your resume, and then within 24 to 48 hours they offer you the position, another huge red flag.
What does that tell you from an employer standpoint?
Well, the urgency is to catch you off guard. They want to get you to react really quickly. They're going to offer you a lot of money, maybe work from home 2 days a week and make $100,000. So it's going to be a lot.
That would be nice.
It would be very nice, right? So they're going to offer a lot on the front end, and they're going to rush your decision. So it doesn't give you enough time to do your due diligence, to do the research you need to make sure this is a legitimate company.
Now, what if an employer sends you a check before you even start working for them? What do you do in that situation?
Do not cash that check.
Okay.
That's the first thing. It looks really good, but again, that's an opportunity for them to get access to bank account information. It's an opportunity for them to get more of your PII, your personal identifiable information. They can get more of that through that check. So do not cash it. Contact the Federal Trade Commission and check to see if this is a legitimate company and put them on alert.
Marcy, all great information.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being here, as always.
Absolutely, thank you.